What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gishath Park. Hope you're ready. Ooh, playing against Baral. I'd like to eat him up with the dinosaur. I think that sounds good. Hopefully we can survive the polymorph deck over here. As far as opening hand goes, we do have Command Tower, Lana War Elves, and 3 visits. Oblivion Ring. Yeah. Hopefully we get lucky with some land. Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. Hopefully this isn't just a 400 counterspell deck, but if it is, hey, we'll try and get our way out of the Gishath Park out of it. Let's go and get the Command Tower down. Let's go for Lana War Elves. Tap out for green. Anything else? We're going to go and pass the turn. We are playing Gishath. Trample, Vigilance, and Haste. Whenever Gishath deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Put any number of dinosaur creature cards from them among them onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Playing against Baral, Chief of Compliance. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Then whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Okay, let's go and get the Taiga down. Let's go for 3 visits. See if we can't outrace the Baral deck. Let's go for that. That's a really nice draw getting to 3 visits, and this is definitely a very mana-hungry deck with Gishath. It's a very hungry commander, likes to eat a lot of mana, so getting to a bunch of mana really quick is definitely a good game plan. So we have Taiga on the battlefield, Command Tower. A lot of red-green in the hand. Command Tower. Let's go ahead and go. Let's go and go Temple Garden. Actually, let's go and go Scattered Groves. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for Scattered Groves. Here's a battlefield. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Sorry about that. I had a hiccup. Sorry, I had a hiccup right there, and I couldn't really... I was trying to mute the mic, but I just got really quiet and just kind of made my chest feel weird. But yeah, so we covered Baral, covered Gishath. We are good. It is free time. You can hop in those Jeeps and drive through Gishath Park if you want to. Alright, opponent's getting down to Baral. More than likely, we're probably going to go for Oblivion Ring just to set back Baral, so that way they don't just counter everything that we have on the battlefield. Then it just kind of sets them back on the commander attacks of Baral, so I think I'm okay with that. Plus, we get to swing in with Lana War Elves, which is always a lot of fun. Let's go and go Oblivion Ring. Let's do that. Yeah, I think I like this. Let's go Oblivion Ring. Then we can actually use Noxious Revival on 3 visits to grab another land. Let's go and get rid of Baral. Send that back to the command zone. Adios, Baral. And then let's go ahead and, while there's no counterspell, let's go and put 3 visits on top. It'll get that down. Let's go and swing in for 1. Go, Lana War Elves, go. Put our opponent down to 29. Every point of damage matters in this match. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. So we do have the 3 visits on top. We'll be able to grab a land off that. That will put us into the range of 5 mana. So if we want to, we can actually go Raging Swordtooth. And if we kind of sequence it a little bit more, maybe get a few more lands, and we get down Staff of Nin and maybe hopefully get that card draw going. Kind of set our opponent back. But yeah, most of the Baral, I haven't played against Baral in a long time, but if you haven't seen Baral, usually a lot of the Baral decks are just kind of a polymorph style deck. And then we have that 3 visits. Let's go ahead and... Do we want to swing in for... No, we'll go and leave the man up. See if we can't catch a... Probably our opponent's sitting on a counterspell right now. More than likely, that's what they're waiting for right now. Let's go get the 3 visits going. Okay, this is doing our upkeep. Gigadros. Tap target permanent. For 3. Yeah, that's fine. Going for a nice little tempo play. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Go for Gigadros. We'll still draw that card, and then we'll be able to go for it next turn. And then we can still swing in with a nice little Lana War Elves unless they want to tap it down. Okay, tapping our lands down. This is going to be 1, 2. And it looks like... Okay, no, they did tap out there. It looks like they might have targeted 1 land twice, but they didn't. Alright, so we got Gigadros going. And we could add mana to our mana pool, but we don't really have anything to do with that mana at instant speed. We do have Dinosaur Stampede, but last time I checked, Lana War Elves is not a dinosaur. It is a elf. Cool tattoo looking elf. Let's go and swing in for 1. Coming in hot. There we go. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. But yeah, so as far as the deck goes, we are running some fun stuff in here like Noxious Revival. Now, we did use it to grab one of our ramp pieces, which that's definitely a great play that you can definitely go for, especially if Cultivate or something like not Rampant Growth, but the... Skyshot Claim, I think. Yeah, cards like that, and it's a great way to kind of add to your ramp ability. And then you can also use it to, let's say one of your dinosaurs got sent into the graveyard, or your opponent cast a board wipe. Let's say we get to 5 mana, we get the Raging Swordtooth on the battlefield, and something happens to it, it goes to the graveyard. In response to the Gishath trigger on the stack, you can actually go Noxious Revival, put that dinosaur on top, and then have a nice little stacked Gishath trigger, which is really a lot of fun. Then another heavy hitter in the deck is definitely... what is it? It's the Congregation at Dawn, which that card art always really goofy looking card art. Okay, see what we're drawing to. See if we hit another land, which would be really great. Clifftop Retreat. Okay, I'll take that. And we do have a Forest Plains though, so it's going to come into play untapped. Yeah, let's go ahead and go 3 visits. I think I like that. If they have Counterspell Mana Leak, we'll be able to pay for the mana of Lana War Elves. If not, we'll be able to swing in. And if they want to counter 3 visits, hey, go for it. There's worse things they could target with that. Okay, not going to go for that. We do have red. Let's go and grab another red-green source. We're all 9 for 3 mana, 3 white mana. Yeah, let's go and grab a Sheltered Thicket. Yep, grab that, and then anything else. Yeah, let's go and swing in with the Lana War Elves. Coming in hot. And I love that we're here for a nice little Gishath video, and we've got... we're just going Lana War Elf beat sticks, which is, hey, that's magic. That's Commander sometimes. Whatever gets the job done. So, as far as our mana count, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5, I don't know, I'm laughing thinking about the scenario and that we just end up with a 27-turn clock where we just close the game out with Lana War Elves and like double strike and all this crazy shenanigans. Alright, so if we shot 1, 2, 3. Alright, we got it. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, yeah, that'll be 7 with that. Do we want to shock it in at this point? Yeah, let's go shock it in. Let's make sure we have enough mana. Do we want to go for Staff of Nin? That'll be some nice little card draw. I'm afraid that's just going to be a huge counterspell target for our opponent. Yeah, let's go Raging Swordtooth. I think I like that. Let's go Raging Swordtooth. We're going to miss out on Lana War Elves. Yeah, let's go Staff of Nin. If they're going to draw out a counterspell on Staff of Nin, that's fine. That kind of puts us in a position to where next turn... we can go for, if we hit the land drop for the turn, we can go for Gishath, and maybe they don't have a counterspell, they want to get Baral down or something like that. It kind of puts them in a position to where maybe they don't have enough mana to kind of support their counterspell. And just getting some nice little incremental value, that extra card draw is always great. Alright, let's go and swing in for 1. We've got it! If you're keeping score at home. That is officially 4 by Lana War of swinging in. Achievement unlocked. Oh, oh man, Teferi. Alright. We're going to lose Lana War Elves. Hey, that was worth it, though. You got to let Lana War Elves feel alive every once in a while. Okay, we got a Teferi flash in. And then we could Staff of Nin on Teferi, but more than likely we're just going to blink our opponent just to kind of avenge our Lana War Elf death. But that does, unfortunately, that does cut us back to 6 mana. So, blue does have flash creatures. We could play around that. But, in this deck... every point of damage really does matter because you have a hasty 7/6 that's trample and vigilance, and simply giving it double strikes 14 damage. So every little bit of incremental damage, at least in a deck like this, does matter. So if it was a little bit more of a Samut style, kind of maybe sit back control style Naya deck, that would make a difference. But with what we've got going on with Gishath, you just want to deal as much damage as you can. So that was a risk we were, at least I was willing to take. You may disagree with that one. Let's go ahead and go Staff of Nin up top, put them down to 26. Yeah, it does unfortunately kind of set us back just a little bit, but with this card draw, hopefully we'll be able to start making our land drops. Alright, draw into Avacyn's Pilgrim, and then Enlightened Tutor. Let's go and go for, let's go Raging Swordtooth. Let's get that down first, that way we don't lose Avacyn's Pilgrim. It's going to be red, green, and then tap for 1 more. There we go. Yeah, get down Raging Swordtooth. That's going to be 1 damage to each creature out there. Enters the battlefield. Also a great Rage Enabler. Now, one thing I did find with Gishath is that the Rage Enabler is really not... it's a little slow, at least for 1 versus 1 commander, because you're trying to work towards Gishath. Get that on the battlefield. It's going to be 1 damage across the board. And then let's go ahead and go for... do we want Enlightened Tutor for an artifact or enchantment? Yeah, let's just go and go Avacyn's Pilgrim. Let's get that down. It's just, our opponent's got a ton of mana up there, and they haven't really countered anything, which is kind of odd. Maybe they're saving it for Gishath. I mean, if we can just simply roll out a ton of value stuff like this, I'm A-okay with that. And with Enlightened Tutor, we can search up Oblivion Ring if we want to keep Teferi off the battlefield. Now, we can't do it in our opponent's turn. Well, obviously, we don't have the mana. Not obviously, but we don't have the mana to do that. But with Enlightened Tutor, we can do it during upkeep to go for Oblivion Ring if we want to take care of something. Alright, Disperse on Staff of Nin. Let's go ahead and go for deal 1 damage. Put him down to 25. And unfortunately, we're going to miss out on that card draw, but hey, it's okay. If they use Disperse on that, at least they're not using Disperse on Gishath. Okay, and now we do have a 5/5 body on the battlefield, so if they do start swinging with Teferi, we can at least kind of stop that from coming across. And then we'll see what we kind of want to draw into. With us going Enlightened Tutor, we can put that on top and kind of see if we can't kind of draw a counterspell out of our opponent. One thing I do need to keep in mind, and that's really just for me, is that with the fairy, each opponent can only cast spells whenever they can cast in sorcery. So if we want to go for something like Dinosaur Stampede, Exhaustion, alright. So if we want to go for something like Dinosaur Stampede, we have to do it during our main phase. But it's going to be a little hard with the Exhaustion out there. Let's see if they do have the Polymorph spell to get into Emrakul, get that on the battlefield. And then our lands are not going to untap, so we draw into Ripjaw Raptor. Actually, pretty good draw on that one. Do we want to go for Absence Pilgrim to put something on top for next turn? Do we need something that bad? So if we're going to go, let's say we go for Duelist next turn. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's go ahead and go Enlightened Tutor on Absence Pilgrim. Worst case scenario, we draw out a counter spell because we're going to go for Duelist. It's in a white enchantment that whenever 2 more creatures attack, target creature gains double strike. That'd be something we can go for, especially with the Ripjaw Raptor, to get that down next turn. If they counter it, it's not the end of the world. And if we get it, it'd be a nice way to kind of bait out another counter spell. Yeah, Duelist Heritage. Let me just kind of make sure that's what we're going to go for. I guess technically we could go for Thran Dynamo. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we could go for Mirari's Wake. That'd be a pretty big tap out. Yeah, let's go for the Heritage. Yeah, I think I like Heritage. That's going to give us, you know, if we finally get into the position where we have a lot of mana, that Heritage is going to allow us to kind of squeeze in a little bit of extra combat damage. And you know, they're sitting at a 1-3 and a 3-4 out there. So if we give Gishath double strike, that's going to be a nice chunk of damage. Alright, swing in for 5 now. We're just going to go and pass the turn. Whenever it's, yeah, enters the battlefield, deal 1 down. I thought it had the Enrage ability, but it does not. So, fact or fiction? Alright, how do we want to sequence this? Into the Royal. Let's go and kind of split the return permanents back to their hand. Alright, this would be a nice little pile to split up. So we have Mystic Confluence, counter target spell, wipe away, return target permanent to its owner's hand, Stunt Devil. I guess if we go into the Royal in Stunt Devil, more than likely they're going to go for this pile. I guess the things we don't really want to play against, so I guess would be technically be Wipe Away and Mystic Confluence. These would be really good cards for it to have. Counter target spell, draw a card. Wipe Away would be another good card to have. If we go Wipe Away into the Royal and Stunt Devil, yeah, I'm not wild about that. And then we can kind of play around it into the Royal if we need to. Yeah, let's go for that. That way, you know, if they need the land drop for the turn, they'll kind of end up with something that's maybe not super value. So I kind of like the split on this one. That way, if they're left with Mystic Confluence and Wipe Away, then go for that. All right, then you do go for the other 3 cards, and we'll go and pop those up so we don't forget about them. And leave the Duelist Heritage down there. That way I do not forget about Duelist Heritage, because that would not be fun. Now, playing against a mono blue control deck that bounces a ton of creatures, we're gonna be honest on this one. It's probably not looking that great for Gishath, but we're gonna try our best. That's one of the things about Gishath is that it does cost 8 mana, and that's kind of expensive for Commander. So, when you're playing against a mono blue control deck that has a lot of ways to manipulate the board state, or simply just counter spells, or like Walk the Aeons, just simply take a bunch of extra turns, that is something that a little hard for the deck to kind of deal with. Alright, not going to swing in from Teferi. And they did make the land drop turn for the island, so we're going to want to cross that one off. But we're going to keep playing it out. Gishath is a lot of fun. But yeah, in my testing, you know, there's some times where we kind of whiff with Gishath and not getting some dinosaurs on the battlefield. But there's other times where you get like 5 dinosaurs or something like that, and you're just like, yes. Feels good. Alright, opponent's getting down the Illusion. Enters battlefield, untap 7 lands. Okay. Alright, there you go. Go for it. Kind of let them do their thing. But yeah, there's times where we're going to whiff on some of the dinosaurs, but then there's other times where it's just like... Oh, yes, it's kind of like one of those days where... not necessarily you have a bad day all the time, but you kind of have a good day and just everything seems to be going smoothly, like all the green lights are opening up. You kind of have those triggers with Gishath where it's like you get those 5 dinosaurs on the battlefield. 2 of them are like Verdant Sun's avatar where you're gaining a bunch of life, and then you have the Burning Sun avatar where you're getting to deal 3 damage to some other people. And it's just fun. Alright, so we have the other Teferi entering the battlefield. Nice, it's officially double Teferi party time right now. So look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one back in your hand on the bottom. Untap up to 4 permanents, which... Yeah. Man, the times I've played against Teferi, it is... and it's not me being salty against mono blue. It's just like, man, this Teferi Planeswalker's just bananas. Crazy. Alright. Drawn to the Heritage. We're going to cross that one off. Let's go ahead and... I guess we'll go for Ripjaw Raptor. Because Mystic Confluence is in there. Into the Royal still out there. So we're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 total mana. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Ripjaw Raptor. Actually, yeah, let's go green. Helps if we're tapping the right mana. Just getting a little wild with my clicks over there. Alright, so we're going to get down Ripjaw Raptor. If they want to counter it, that's fine. And then actually Duelist Heritage. We don't mind that on the battlefield because our opponent's not really swinging in, so we're not really going to be able to take advantage of the Enrage ability. Let's go and go for the Duelist Heritage. It's going to be white. Get that down. And I guess, technically we know. We can't swing in because we don't have 2 creatures that will enable the double strike. So, let's see if our opponent wants to counter it or not. And then we'll leave it up to them. I love the card art on this card. It looks really good. I like the little ghost swords on there. Opponent's going to go for an opt. Scry 1, draw a card. Okay. And I guess, maybe they don't have a counterspell in the hand. We can start rolling some of this value stuff out. So, hopefully we can land drop next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we just hit that land drop. We're going to be online for Gishath, giving us a nice little double strike. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to take that as, hey, we're just going to play to our outs and just kind of throw down Gishath next turn. That's what we're hoping for. I would have assumed that our opponent probably would have had a counterspell if they're ditching Mystic Confluence, though. But there's some stuff that I thought they would have countered. But hey, it's just a guessing game at this point. So if we hit 8 mana next turn, we'll definitely go for Gishath, because definitely the star of the show. Alright, into the Royal on Raging Swordtooth. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now, we do have some fun stuff in here for situations like this. So we do have Pinnace, which is an enchantment. Really weird card. When I came across it, I'm like, where have you been? So it's called Pinnace. You put a card on top of your library from your hand to prevent damage from a source, from a red or black source. And so it's a great way to kind of stack some dinosaurs from your hand back on top of your library to make sure you get some really nice Gishath triggers. And let's say that your opponent doesn't have a red or a black source out there. With Gishath, once it deals that combat, once it's already dealt the combat damage, you can use Pinnace to target Gishath. Because it's already dealt the damage. It doesn't really matter if we kind of blank that damage out, and you kind of stack those dinosaurs on top. Now, we do have Dinosaur Stampede. We can go for Dinosaur Stampede if we want to, swinging in with Ripjaw Raptor. +2 and they gain trample. So if we kind of wanted to get into a position to where we swing in maybe at Teferi, and we're just kind of assuming maybe they just block with Teferi or something like that, we can squeeze in a little bit of extra damage. But they've got some pretty high toughness on our opponent's side of the board, so Dinosaur Stampede may not be the best. Alright, part the Water Veil. And actually we can go ahead and cross off into the Royal because they did use that. And they've got enough mana for part the Water Veil, but actually they're not. Maybe they want to go for the Awakening or something. And then, what does it do? No, okay, I was like, no, we're good. I was like, no, we do not want to give that double. I was trying to figure out why it was triggering for our opponents, but I forgot, yeah, it's going to trigger for everybody, so I can see where that's a fun little commander card for multiplayer. Alright, opponent swings in for 4, puts it down to 19. But yeah, unfortunately Gishath, this is one of those decks that's not really, doesn't really square up that good against a mono-white deck like this. Alright, draw into Oracle. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're actually still 1 away from Gishath. So let's go and go Oracle, see if we can't rip a couple lands off the top of our library. Kind of shake it up just a little bit. We could have technically gone for Staff of Nim, but that's going to be us tapping out. If we can get down Oracle and we can draw, kind of get a few more lands on the battlefield. Territorial Hammerskull. Okay, that's not exactly what we want to see on top. You do want to swing in with the Ripjaw Raptor. The unfortunate thing is we can't use Dinosaur Stampede as a trick, so it's going to be, basically it's going to be a 6/5, which only have 4 points of damage. We'll get a little bit extra card draw. Yeah, man, this is better than nothing. Let's go and go Dinosaur Stampede. See if this resolves. If not, then we can swing with Ripjaw Raptor just to get that card draw going. So whenever it's dealt damage, draw a card. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We can swing it to Fairy, and they're almost going to be have to kind of chump block on something like that. But actually, excuse me. Alright, that was a misplay on that one, sorry. Oh, goodness. Alright, it's been a long game. Alright, we're going to swing in at, let's swing in at Teferi. Yep, get a little ahead of myself on that one. We're going to give it double strike. Yeah, on that one, the Ripjaw, I was trying to get ahead of, I didn't want to, not be able to cast it with Teferi, and then I completely forgot that it's attacking creatures, not just dinosaurs you control, get +2/+0 until end of turn, so unfortunately that happens. And let's see if our opponent is going for Capsize with buyback, I think. Yeah, that is correct. Alright, gets bounced back to the hand. Alright, so that's going to complicate it just a little bit. and then anything else kicking over our opponent. Yeah, sorry about that one. That was kind of just a wasted spell on that one. But technically with Teferi out there, probably wasn't really going to be a good opportunity for us to go for it anyway. So unfortunately that happens sometimes. That is doing commentary and making sure that you have the correct lines of play sometimes is a little, kind of miss a little word or two in there. Kind of makes it to where, oh, attacking creatures, not just dinosaurs, get +2/+0. And plus it's a new deck, but hey, happy little mistakes, happy little commander mistakes. Alright, opponent's going for Teferi. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. And with them having Capsize back in the hand, now that's going to really kind of stop our Gishath game plan. So let's see if we can't, I don't know what we can do outside of that. Because they can bounce it back to the hand and we can keep casting it, but that's just going to be really, they're going to have more than enough mana to kind of go from there. Kind of puts them on almost like a, take an extra turn, okay. Be a little 6/6 land over there. Yeah, with them having buyback, swinging for 4. No, I'm not going to use that ability. Alright, puts us down to 15. Yeah, and they swing in next turn. Let's say we chump block with Avacyn Pilgrim, but I'm not really wanting to do that. It's going to be 10, puts us down to 5. Yeah, this may be, especially with Teferi out there, this may be kind of the end of the road for us on this game. We'll see, though. Alright, opponent's going for a plus up on Teferi. But yeah, when you're not playing against a kind of a strict mono blue counterspell bounce style deck, Gishath's been a lot of fun, and it's kind of one of those, like, I wish I'd kind of been recording some of my test decks because I've had a lot of fun playing them. Alright, swinging it for 10. There we go. I don't want to give him double strike. We'll choose the island. Nope, we're good. Swinging it for 10 is going to put us down to 5. And then we're going to have the territorial draw for the turn. But if we hit a land drop, then that'll put us in a position where maybe we can get down Gishath. Excuse me, had a little bit of hiccup right there. But yeah, so we can get down Gishath and maybe start swinging it from there. See what they want to go for, though. Think twice, draw a card. Okay, it's going to cross the part the water veil off. And they're tapping out with Repulse, return target creatures under the hand, draw a card. Okay, we're going to lose Oracle, so that's basically be able to swing in for 5 next turn. Stunt double as the bounce creature. Yep, cool, man. Yeah, this pretty much reminds me why I enjoy Unesh so much, is because but especially in 1-versus-1 Commander, when you're just playing against mono blue, it is just not a lot of fun. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not salty. It's just kind of one of those, a mono blue deck, especially like Baral, is just so, you know, just bounce stuff, just bounce, 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 and take an extra turn. Yeah, got this. We're going to make them play it out on this one, though. Kick it over to them. Propaganda can't swing in. All right. Swinging in, you got it. We're going to give the island double strike on this one. Why not? Let's have some fun. Make that island feel alive. There we go. Yes, we're going to use that ability. Get some nice little double striking island. Kind of close it out in style. All right, that'll put us to a big negative number. Let's see. That is -1. All right. Opponent gets it on that one, so I guess that first strike damage will get it. So, but yeah, unfortunately, when we have a big commander like this, it gets a bunch of bounce spells. It's a little hard for us to get our game plan going, but I have at least a couple other videos for you. So, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.